A leaky pipe causes all sorts of trouble. Nowhere did people believe this more than in Japan during the Edo period, where publishers unleashed a tsunami of books written about something called Yōjō, or nurturing life. Basically, self-help books on how to stay healthy. Yōjō books covered everything from sleep, diet, and exercise to pissing, pooping, and sex, and a bunch of other things. We're going to focus on the first 5, particularly about how they have nothing to do with this video. Sex was a frequent health topic. Yōjō experts thought one of the gravest threats to you was the dreaded escape of a certain male fluid. Now, this video is about men. Views on women's sexual health were totally different. Let me know if you want to go down that rabbit hole another time. First, let's go over why man milk was such a big deal. Then we can all enjoy looking at the highly creative solutions they had to the male leakage problem. It all started with the Chinese, who believed that the body was powered by 3 forces circulating within: Jing, Qi, and Shen. The Japanese thought this was a neat idea they could maybe incorporate into an anime or two, and borrowed it. In Japanese, they're pronounced sei, ki, and shin. What are these exactly? Well, sei has been translated as essence, ki as energy, and shin as mind, which is about as helpful as the average Japanese translation. The concept is hard to nail down exactly. If you asked 2 Japanese experts to explain it, they would likely argue for 3 hours on the specifics and then get frustrated and invade China. Luckily, the ancients were sympathetic to uncultured future generations and came up with the famous candle analogy. The wax and wick are sei, or essence, energy condensed into substance. The flame is ki, or energy, burning that substance into usable action. And the light from the flame is shin, the mind, consciousness radiating from the energy. It's a great analogy that allows you to easily understand very little, but it's okay. We don't need complete knowledge of Chinese traditional medicine. Just know that in a healthy body, these forces are supposed to flow smoothly. Now, we can forget about Shin. It has nothing to do with today's topic, and most of you don't have much of it anyways. Ki makes up everything in the universe. Even Sei and Shin are formed from Ki. Any action you do consumes Ki. It's energy. There are different types of ki in your body, but while most of them can be recharged with food or rest, there's a special type you get from your parents that cannot be replenished, called Genki, or innate energy. Genki is a lot like love. You start out at birth with plenty, it slowly dwindles as life progresses, and once it's all gone, you die. The word survives to the modern day in the Japanese greeting Genki desu ka? Or how are you? Genki means healthy nowadays, so the greeting literally means, are you healthy? Which doesn't sound as interesting as is your innate energy sufficient, but it is more boring. You can replenish your sei by eating. For example, eating snacks from Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co., the sponsor for this video. Honey, we need to talk. Your dad and we've decided to separate. I'm sure you know we've been having problems. We think it's for the best. We both love you very much, sweetie. There's just one question. It's a hard one, okay? Who do you want to stay with? I knew it. I heard you talking about it. I want to stay with Mom. Okay, sweetie. I understand. Can I ask why? Because Mom has that subscription to Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. What? I don't want to miss out on those amazing treats. Each month, Tokyo Treat sends us a box of snacks straight from Japan. The theme for this month is Halloween. Eat some snacks only available for Halloween, like scary garlic chips, some ramen, and these apple pie Kit Kats that just fill up my sei, extending my life, probably. Every month, when Tokyo Treat sends us a snack box, it's like Christmas and your dad's at work. Well, I just want us to eat healthy, you know? Dad, your part of the fridge has like apples and sadness. I can't eat sadness. Mom also has Sakura Co., which sends us a box of more premium stuff from local Japanese snack makers. This month's theme is Nikko's Autumn Splendor. They have snacks inspired by the city of Nikko in the mountains that's surrounded by a forest of autumn colors this time of year. You also get some tea. And this month, you get this cute cat furoshiki you can use to wrap things. Thanks for making my parents' divorce easier to deal with, Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Click the link in the description and use code Linfamy to get a discount on your first box now. People love it as a gift, too. The other great force is sei, or essence, responsible for growth and reproduction. It's used to create the physical stuff in your body, like your bones, muscles, and bodily fluids. Unlike the other two forces, sei is the only one you can actually see sometimes. Teenage boys see it very often. When a male climaxes, the fluid that comes out is his sei condensed into liquid form. Pretty cool, right? Not according to moms when they suddenly walk in, but it's okay, they're helping to preserve your essence, probably saving your life, because here's the rub, the body is a sei-guzzling machine. It needs sei to function. That fingernail isn't growing off of hopes and dreams. So, without enough essence, the body instead burns through some of your limited, non-rechargeable Genki life battery. Edo-Period medical books called Spilling Your Seed, Sei-o morasu, or to leak essence. The modern Japanese language carries the echoes of these ideas. The word for semen is seiyeki, or essence fluid. An old slang for orgasm is kiyoyaru, or to give one's energy. Dying early was considered a poor life choice, so a big part of writings on nurturing life focused on preventing essence spillage. Spillage not only shortened your life, people thought it triggered a million side effects. Some of them may surprise you. One book declared dramatically, "There is nothing more harmful to life than intercourse." The author then proved why, using reasoning that I think you'll appreciate. This is why man and woman, even though they enjoy intercourse, break into a sweat and pull grimaces as if crying when they feel that their seed is about to descend. This is proof appearing in their faces that their hearts are saddened because of the damage done to their life. Ah, the O-face line of evidence. Too much sex was dangerous. One scholar, apparently, had radiant skin and a smooth voice, and people said it was because he spent his 20s buried between books rather than legs. Sleeping around came with a flood of dire consequences, including a low-energy pee-pee and leaking too quickly during sex. "No, babe, my essence is just very energetic. It escapes easily." Most diseases were caused by loss of essence, people thought. There was a belief that at around age 40, about half of your Genki has been used up. Your sei also lowers over time, leaving your body slower to heal and grow, creaking like an old rocking chair. You might find it interesting that the books on Yōjō didn't single out self-pleasure as extra bad. The bad part was spilling the sacred sake. It didn't matter how it spilled. It was only late in the Edo period, when Yōjō was influenced by the Western fear of self-acquaintance, that people started speaking out against polishing your own samurai helmet. One book even said that a single session of beating your wagyu meat was equal in harm to 6 sessions of intercourse, and that number doubles if you're beating it to hentai. However, most Yōjō discussions happened before the end of the Edo period, and people mostly thought self-pleasure and intercourse were equally bad. So, with all these consequences from loss of essence, what was the solution? You might think that quitting sex altogether would let you live to 200, lumbering around town like a virgin tortoise, but that would be a disaster. Yes, losing ki was dangerous, but there was a second danger: blocked ki. You see, the forces in a healthy body were supposed to flow freely. A blocked flow also causes problems, forcing the body to use up precious Genki to compensate. A person who abstains from sex bottles up all that sexual desire. It has nowhere to go and ends up clogging the body's energy flow. Just as stagnant water is dangerous, so is stagnant energy. Blockages can show up physically as boils and tumors. The actual solution to the leakage problem was to have sex in moderation. What does moderation mean? Well, books on nurturing life gave people a schedule depending on their age, a restricted sexual budget to make sure you don't splurge. One popular schedule went like this. Men in their 20s should release essence once every 4 days. At such a young age, a man is in the danger zone. He's full of stamina and his pipes are under more pressure than Chernobyl's nuclear reactor. He could lose too much sei and ki too early in life. If a young man had enough self-control to limit his essence releases to twice a month, he would live a long life. If he spent every day molesting his blanket, he would have an energy shortage that would ruin his health forever. You want to be that kid who invested his money in a safe index fund, not the one who put his inheritance into crypto. In their 30s, men should leak essence once every 8 days, in their 40s, every 16 days, in their 50s, every 20 days, and men 60 and over should keep their essence locked inside tighter than regrets. Males under 20 should abstain from any essence leakage at all, or they would be doomed with a short life. Some of us about to die real early. Now, what if you're an older gentleman, but you want to feel the intimate touch of another person, or at least of an alluring art print? Well, knowing it's a bad idea to get between a Japanese man and his fictional women, the most popular Yōjō manual suggested an interesting solution. A man 40 and over should still have sex or touch himself, but instead of letting the floodgates burst at the end, he should just stop right before. This satisfies some of his sexual desires so he doesn't go crazy and kill half the town, but it does not result in him losing precious essence. Now, only men 40 and older should do this. It's bad news for younger men. Immature men are just chock full of enough say to repopulate the planet if needed, or another planet. Without the sweet release of a climax, all that extra sexual energy has nowhere to go, clogging up the lower body's energy flow. But edging doesn't hurt older men because they have less essence in their bodies, leaving more room for the sexual energy to slosh around. The sexual activity actually helps, increasing their normally sluggish essence flow. Now, if your lower body is totally blocked like a Lego set, there is a way to relieve it. Take a lukewarm bath. It warms the lower parts of your body, allowing the forces to circulate again. Some people took essence leakage seriously. One samurai revealed that when he hit 30, he abstained from essence discharge for 1.5 years. Not a single soldier left the castle gates. After that, I felt a slight improvement in my health and physical stamina, and released essence twice a month. As he approached 50, he only deployed his army 5 or 6 times a year, and when he reached 55, to the dismay of his wife probably, he closed the gates forever, leaving a permanent garrison. Another samurai wrote that he only slept with his wife twice a month to fulfill his duty to supply the family a child. He admitted that he thought it might have been too much sex, but he didn't feel any bad health effects, so he shrugged and figured he was having the right amount of intercourse. Now, these were honorable, high-ranking samurai, so I think we can trust their words to be suspect. Remember, they were writing for others. Like Instagram posts, they might have been portraying a persona that did not match with reality. Yōjō manuals taught people what to do, but they don't tell us what people actually did, or how often. Go on YouTube and you can find a million supportive weight loss videos, and yet nearly half of US adults are making fun of the obese people. Actually, the flood of Yōjō manuals might be a sign that people didn't take care of their health. You wouldn't have needed so many books on how not to leak yourself into an early grave if people didn't need reminding. Do we have that many books today teaching people the art of eating like a pig? Oh. In any case, prostitution was widespread in the Edo period, so it doesn't seem like people were keeping their ki flowing harmoniously. Helpful or not, Yōjō experts marched on in their war against leakage. Besides telling people sex is unhealthy, they did the old tried-and-true method of turning it into a moral issue. And it was very interesting how this fit nicely with the Japanese culture of valuing the community over the individual. The argument changed from "don't do this, it's for your own good" to "don't do this, it's selfish. You will fail your family, your community, and the entire social order." Click here to see the video about that. We have some new Patreon and YouTube members today. Brooke Teagarden, Tony Robinson, unnamed someone, we'll never know who, Christopher Fain, and Karen N. Thank you so much. Alright, I love you, and spread the knowledge.